$5,000. Cash payment to anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil Farrakhan is preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom, of Master Fard Muhammad Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher Master Fard's teachings.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. So my right here, covenant, record 7 seals. Right. Great shock is about to hit the planet, brothers and sisters. Any day now. 3 seconds away. Great shock hit the planet. And no one's telling you about it but myself. The entire planet will engulf the whole planet. Shock of the hour. It's going to engulf the whole planet. It's going to crush minds. It's going to destroy minds. It's going to consume minds. It's going to burn minds. Because the minds will not be able to handle it. Because we'll be consistent with that's why it's going to be in shock. If your mind is consistent with the seasons, there's no shock. If you're a winter person, suddenly spring comes, you're in shock. What's that? And then you got to make dramatic adjustments, but you don't know how. And your whole world is evaporating before your eyes. So what's going on? Shock of the hour. And those that have been paying attention to Injil, they'll be saved from that shock. They'll be saved from that initial shock. Assalamualaikum, sisters and brothers. So my right here, record 7 seals. Brothers and sisters, I don't know what's going on. Someone's telling me I'm getting no sound. I'm getting sound. I'm testing it. I'm getting sound. So I don't know if someone's trying to confuse me or what. I'll move on, brothers and sisters. My equipment tells me I'm getting sound. Let's check something real quick. Okay, I'm going to say that initial shock. Getting sound. So, why is someone saying that? Anyway, brothers and sisters, I got broke my train of thought. Those who are made with the angel, they're paying attention, studying, they'll be safe in that initial shock. Right? Initial shock. Right? But that's not going to reverberate. Right? The initial shock. And as Farrakhan and all these clowns out there is talking, and they're talking, asking about what's about to happen. Asking about abomination, desolation. Asking what to do if they even know about it. They're not aware of it either. The shock will crush them. Your shock will crush them. Because they have no way out. The door is closed to them. It's not a game, brothers and sisters. A dramatic change, twinkle of an eye. You're the one that's causing this. Because the greatest nation ever put together by us is about to be birthed. About to be born. And so resist them. To be an unprecedented nation, the resistance will be unprecedented. Okay, growth and resistance, right, are twins. You don't have one without the other. Every action has an opposite reaction. Reaction is the resistance to the action. So if you have an unprecedented reaction, that means the action has to be unprecedented. So at a time of unprecedented trouble, that means it has to be an action that's unprecedented that's causing that. It's an action of growth. And the devil is causing it because they've been destroyed by it. So I have to explain these things. So, if you take these things through, you see it. If it's unprecedented trouble, that's a reaction to something. So actually something is growing. That is trying to stop. The dragon stood by to devour the child as soon as he was born. You understand, brothers and sisters? Endeavor to make this as simple as possible. Unprecedented trouble means there's an unprecedented action that's taking place. And trouble is a reaction to it. So if the action is unprecedented, the reaction is unprecedented, that means the action, if the reaction is unprecedented, the action has to be unprecedented, and it tells you a nation's going to be born that's going to last forever. That will be that challenge, they will crush everything in its path. And so I keep being told, stop taking things for granted. Because these people are not paying attention, they don't understand, they don't see through these things. No matter how you say it, they still don't see it. You say, well, damn, that should be obvious. Every action opposite. If you understand that principle, they say it's unprecedented trouble. You say, well, what's the action that's causing it? It's a positive action. Because the unprecedented trouble is a bad reaction, negative reaction. It must be a positive thing that's about to happen. Unprecedented. Universal. That's about to happen. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit today, brothers and sisters. I may be out a couple of days because there was a tragedy in it's a family matter. So we'll see. At any rate, unprecedented. Because, you put the basis out, then you think people think it through, they start understanding on their own. I mean, if you have to host if you have to teach somebody math and then go to the store with them every time you got to go and stand there with them, explain to them, what point is that? You're teaching the principle. So then you're going to look in there and say, okay, if that's the basic principle, every reaction, they go in and say, hey, what's this action? Oh, then what's this action happen? What's the reaction to something? So what's the action that's causing it? What's the weight of it? It's got to be the same weight as the reaction. So an unprecedented event is about to take place, which will cause an unprecedented reaction. What's it called? The Great Tribulation. Tribulation is not a fun thing. It's a reaction to something. You don't say, man, I want to have a tribulation. No, that's something you want to avoid. That's a negative thing. That's a negative thing to something positive that's about to happen. So then then you look and say, okay, we'll be mystery God, so okay, who's causing the action and who's the reaction? Who's the reaction? See? If it's global, right? Then who has global control? See how you break it down, brothers and sisters? And us. He's reacting to something that's the opposite of him, that has no control. A nation that has no control has to come together. When it comes together, it's going to cause that reaction. And as it comes together, it causes it to blow apart. One coming together, one is divided. It's going to come together because others blow up and become undivided. Then to act opposite of equal reaction. So if you come together, you call it to break apart. See how simple it is, brothers and sisters? Well, maybe it's not so simple. It depends. Like I say, you tell a girl, a man, see how simple it is? 1 + 1 = 2. He looking for me and years. Yeah. I guess it's simple. It depends on, you want to think. All these things are very simple. And so the action is something that's in process now. It's about to be born. And so something about to be born, right, it's kicking. It's moving around. No, you're thinking the directions you're going. So the vibrations from that is in the direction of its growth. It means somebody's talking about, right? Has the mind and talking about this growth. And they're resisting it, trying to nullify it. Because that's on the level, when you're in the womb, that's what the level is there. When you come out the womb, that's a whole different story altogether, isn't it? Let's move on, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm going to talk about here. Anyway, no one step up this $5,000. Check my sound again. It never hurts me anybody anymore, so. So the sound's still handling. It's not okay to me. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Is this bringing in a new world? Somebody's remembered. It's unprecedented and global. That means a new world's coming in. Make all things new. The whole world is resisting it. If you want to make all things new, it means you want to get rid of everything that's here now, right? But not Mr. Farrakhan. I don't see what happened to America. I love America. I want to stay here. Well, if that's his attitude, he don't want change. Isn't that what he's saying? I don't want change. But change is on the menu. Change the reality. The time of change. But he said he don't want change. So I tell you what side of the coin he's on, doesn't it? And look what's doing to him. It's drying him up. Remember, if you're growing, you put resistance, but you put more power on resistance. Resistance comes greater and greater and greater because you're growing more and more and more. But if you're growing, you're defeating, you're consuming the resistance. So resistance gets ever like the cross, ever weak. So look like Mr. Farrakhan, unless he got back somewhere. He's fading away, ain't he? Look at him. You think he's going to step up and he's going to bring in the world? You think that's going to bring in the world? He can't wipe his own ass? Got a bit on him? Wear a jumpsuit? That's what he got under that coat. So hang on to that. Because if you with him, you part of the world that's going out. With a bang. A blast. Suddenly, shock of the hour. Says Babylon went down in one day. But it says a nation was born in one day. You see, you ever put those two days together? So Babylon is the core of resistance. And nations born, that's the core of the growth. So at the same time, Babylon loses, but they get destroyed. But the nation, it grows. And it grows and covers the whole earth like Daniel says, and lives forever. While resistance is blown, obliterated, blown to smithereens. Look at him. Look at he's gaining strength. He's getting his ass kicked. He gets exposed. The liar he is. He's a demon. He's a devil. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. He said God told him to be quiet. Well, why are you talking, Farrakhan? He said God told you to be quiet. So, you can speak now? See, I say he was lying then, he's lying now. So now you can speak now, Farrakhan? So he tells what's happening. Explain what's going on in the world. Tell us what Armageddon is supposed to start 3 years ago. Explain these things. No? Disperse the darkness. You said we're in total darkness. Illuminate us. But a joke. Him and those other clowns. Well, I'm going to lie to you. Okay, well, tell me what's going on. Tell me the shock of hours on the way. You don't know. You have no idea. How you going to get out of it? How you going to survive it? Oh, Master Farm Hunter will come to the mother plane and take you out? You think so? You wait for that one. No, Master Farm Hunter is not going to come to protect you. He's come to deliver you out of this. Those are already proved. It's proofed. That's how you say it. When you take steel and you test it's proved. I guess that's the word they use. That's elect. But in all has to. That's why great. They're still growing. They still haven't achieved. Right? It's like, I guess they're still in the birth pains. They haven't completely out of the womb yet. Well, they ain't out of the womb because they're still in America. Labor and all that, that's bloody. But they will be born. They will come forth. That's what it says. Well, some question there, but anyway. That's what it says. It said, how? Who's the father of them? Who inspires them? Who inspires their growth? Son of Man, preach to the 4 winds. Is this preaching? It does it. Can you put these things together? Say, preach the four winds. And that's what causes it to happen. The angel, get a new mind back. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. Yeah, there's the mouth. Not seed Abraham. He missed his father, the devil. He did. Daniel said he would despise the covenant. Why? Because it doesn't apply to him. It applies to seed Abraham. But he's part of resistance. Keep you from being born. He's telling you, oh, I'm here to help you like a doctor. I'm here to help you. All the while, he planned on aborting you. See? Oh, doc, thank you. I'm here to help you. Here's this child. See, I'm a doctor, right? All the while, I'm putting something inside of you that's going to abort that child. But nothing Farrakhan says supports anything Elijah Muhammad was talking about, nor Master Prophet Muhammad can prove it over and over again. He's Aaron, bad news. In every case, it's always Peter. Cut people's ears off as fast as Joshua was enlightening them. He was making them deaf. Bad news. And the scripture says the mouth will make war with the saints. Now, he want to talk down and talk about that one. That means you're the saints. You claim you're the saints, right? Then it says you're going to be overtaken by his mouth for 40-some years. Well, it's right there. So if that hasn't happened, that means that's your future. And it has happened. When? Did it happen to Elijah? No. Happened to Master Muhammad? No. It's been some 40-some years since Elijah. So if Farrakhan's not the one, the mouth says going to do that. That means you got 40 years of bad, hard road coming on the way. Shock of the hour. It says a grievous thing. Shock of the hour is a grievous thing. Oh, you're going to be in shock. It says, men going to be walking around drunk and have a drink. It's going to knock you out. No, it's going to drive people insane. Because they never seen anything like that before. What's about to happen? Try to explain some of it to you.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement? And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
You're totally guilty, obviously guilty of that. Just look at three things. You mentioned the covenant in Malachi, never mentioned. It comes after Elijah. But no, Elijah, you don't leave nations alone. No. He prepared the way for the messenger of the covenant. Prepared the way for the messenger of the covenant. Then the covenant itself. After 40 years, we go home to Arabia, between the river Euphrates and the river Egypt, which is Arabia. We're not going nowhere. Again, then first they don't even talk about the covenant. Secondly, they say it's a lie. Same way Malachi, they don't talk about the mission of the covenant. But again, they call that a lie because I mean, Elijah last one. They say he's the messenger of the covenant. He's a messenger. And then they don't mention Joshua either. In Exodus, he's the one that he's the identity of the messenger of the covenant. So you have the covenant, you have the messenger of the covenant, and the identity is Joshua, who takes home. But no, Aaron last. Joshua. He's the messenger of the covenant. He's the one that gets you home. So they line all three of them. And they know this because they talk about all three of those things except that part. You don't talk about Joshua, talk about the messenger of the covenant, and don't talk about the covenant. Mm-hmm. Okay, listen. Here comes crack time. Crack pipe. This when you really want to grab that crack pipe, boy. But, woo. Mm-mm.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flavor as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color.
Yeah.
It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground in unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you. And Mustafa may be 4 more shades lighter. We are family. Let's stay a family, be a family, and love each other as God would have us to love each other. Love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. I had to do that. We love you. One more time, brother.
Okay, brothers and sisters, let me get to the main point here. It was race war. See, when you understand what's happening and what's about to happen, and it's obvious what this is. It's the enemy. That's why Muhammad is God's like Muhammad to us. The devils, they cannot be reformed. They're 100% wicked. But Farrakhan says no, because he is their brother. He's a devil himself in the blackface devil. That's why I love him, kiss him, and everything else. He's not our brother. He deceived you into thinking that. When the time comes, like those old mafia movies, when they want to take you out, they send somebody that you family member or something, somebody you would suspect. So he's getting you to drop your guard so they can finish you off. Like how to put your guard at A, because you didn't know. You wasn't sure who you know. Most you didn't know who your enemy was. You knew you wasn't sure. He told me, no, that's your enemy. Them devil's your enemy. Right? He said other people too, but he says that those are your enemy. Clearly. Let's say clearly. Oh no, sorry, no, he ain't our enemy. Some are bad, but most are good. But if that's your enemy, and someone's telling you that's not your enemy, Who are they? If that's your enemy and someone telling you they're not your enemy, who are they? It's clear that your enemy. If you listen close to what Mr. Trump is saying, he's telling you straight up, we plan on getting rid of your ass. You see him send anybody from Europe home? Hey, little immigrants from Europe? You notice that one? No. It's a race war. We're going to show it. Prove it, not just show it, prove it. They made merchandise of you. It says you robbed the nation. It says it, Malachi. So you ask yourself, well, who is robbing the nation? It doesn't say the church. It says who robbed the nation? As one of those groups. So who is there in that picture? You got the God, you got the messenger, you got the messenger of the covenant, and then you got a fourth person that's robbing the nation. And that person, whoever it is, they tell you he'll be cursed with a curse. So that's how you identify him. Because that person will be cursed with a curse. So let's do some math here. You got the God, he came and raised Elijah. Did Elijah rob the nation? No. Did Master Muhammad rob the nation? No. And then went to Farrakhan, who was not anointed. Then we Exodus gave he's anointed. Anointed by who? To God. Didn't anoint him. That was Elijah Muhammad's insistence. The mouth. And does he curse with a curse? He get terminal cancer or castrated and everything else at 55? Pissing shit in the bag? Is that not a curse? Get that money. Because him and Ross took the nation down, robbed of all its assets, all that left the believers with nothing. Hard-working believers that stuck with Elijah for years. Someone was Elijah ever since the beginning. There was some people there. When I came in 70, there was where Elijah when Master Muhammad was around. There's one brother, he was white. His name was Supreme Allah. He said, Master Muhammad gave him that name. And now everything was gone. I took that money and ran, never apologized. One of them died severe of diabetes. One of them, right, he's on a deathbed, mumbling, castrated, pissing shit in a bag, can't wipe his own ass, Farrakhan. Yeah, but he's a Messiah. Or that's just a trial. Getting castrated is a trial? Or what you gonna do? Get a sign or something? You gonna graft you some new stuff on her? That's what they did. Plus that bad mouth, they destroyed the nation of Islam totally, got rid of the name, everything. And bad mouth and that messenger and Master Muhammad. Now he's back as a buzzard. Eat the flesh of what was left behind. It didn't die. Okay, race war, warlord. Let's get into it. Now, look at this passage, read this passage closely, slowly. Man's hearts failing them from fear and expectation of those things was coming on earth, the powers of heaven be shaken. Now, see, if you're a Christian, you're Jesus person. The name Jesus does not exist in the manuscripts. That's name they made up. $5,000 from Rome. Check it. Not the manuscripts. It's a Greek name. The actual name is Joshua. Men's hearts failed them for fear of those expectations, those things coming upon the earth, the powers of mission. Now, if you, Jesus, one of those Jesuses, and you think heaven is beyond us. But if that's the case, then how would men know that the powers of heaven been shaken? How would they know that? If the heavens is way beyond the sun, moon, and stars, someplace you can't see till after you die. How would men know that? So heaven must be placed visible to them. Because they seeing what's happening there. Men's hearts fail of fear, expectate those things coming, which are coming to earth. But they see it, they can see it. That means something that's visible here. It tells you in chapter 12, the angel, I think chapter 11, chapter 12, right? Alzheimer's, brothers and sisters. I'm pretty sure it's chapter 12. Anyway, it's talking about the war in heaven. Michael's angels, the world of dragons, angels. That heaven is Middle East, brothers and sisters. That's all the things in Scripture take place. That's what it's talking about heavens. So they see something happen over there. They see what is happening over there. They see what they see happening over here. It's about to come here. When they see what's coming, what's there, it says coming here. What they see happening over there. So they have to see over there to be upset about. You know what it is that they have to be afraid of. They have to see it. So it has to be here on the planet. That's the Middle East. You understand? So what's happening over there? On this desolation, a race war is happening right now. See, they try to soften it up by calling it genocide. Genocide is a race war. One race wiping out another. You understand? It's a race war. So, well, the Germans and we have false. I mean, they claim they're a different race, right? They claim to see Abraham. But right now you got Caucasians. Now what they call themselves, and war with the Arabs. Just like America was war with the so-called natives and wiped them all out. And that's genocide. The general understanding of genocide is one race wiping out another. That's happening over there. That's one of the things happening over there. It's just one of the things. Race war. A religious war is about to happen. See, and it's showing Sunni. When this war resumes, right? Because the dragon, if you understand dragon war against Sunni. Michael's angels are his Shia. I need to understand this because you need to understand the angel to know this. They have broken the seals, which no one has done but the Lamb. And Elijah Muhammad is not the Lamb of God. He never said he was. He never claimed he had broken the 7 seals either. Neither Master Muhammad would make that claim. I don't think Lioness Barakah made that claim either. He did. Show me. I made the claim, they could prove it. At any rate, so the race war is happening right now. It's going to trigger religious war. Economic war is also going on right now. Why? Because they're trying to control the oil over there. So that's the root of this. It's an economic war. Right? It's fueling the race war because you got the Caucasians trying to take the wealth from the Arabs. It's economic. And the way they plan to do it is by eliminating the race by genocide. But the Sunni, because they're adversaries, the Sunni is going to be on the side of the devils. And here are going to be on the side of Palestinians. It's a big backfire. I said, what you see over there, well, let me say, I don't want to get off base here. Let me put it this way. Before, the scriptures tell you, before the nation is judged and destroyed, its sins are made manifest so everybody can see it. See, the nation says the destruction was just. You remember in the story at Lot? They made it clear because it showed to give you a story. So why put that in there? The people of Sodom, they came to Lot's house. I believe it was Lot, right? And wanted to rape the angel. See, so it's obvious. I mean, you couldn't hide it. Look, it still was obvious. These were men wanting to rape those men. That was the primary reason why they was destroyed, right? Because of homosexuality. So they showed where they provided evidence that that's what they were guilty of. If you go and study that scripture closely, right? So it got so bad, they set court in the streets. They have judges and they have that court in the street. And so when you walk by, anybody walked by, they had to commit a homosexual act. They was found guilty. So I'm glad I have to read that again. It's been a long time since I read that, but since I had to find that actual scripture. I'm pretty sure it's there. Well, I know I read it. Anyway, you see, so what's happening right now is America and false Israel, and all the nations right now are manifesting. See, they're judging, but now they're showing the proof that they're guilty of what they're about to be destroyed for. So America is a party to genocide because they see it happening and they can stop it. If you give somebody a gun and some bullets and they shoot people and they run out of bullets and you know they shoot people and they ask them up and you give them a bullet, so you just give it out. They're just pulling the trigger, but you gave them the gun and you gave them the bullets. Because if you took the gun back from the bullets, they couldn't do it. So America's just guilty of genocide as they are. They're showing they genocidal people. See, all the stuff they did in the past, they was trying to hide. Oh, we holy people, we good people, we moral people. You know, slavery was just a mistake. We love. No. All of a sudden, everybody exposed themselves. Look at the betrayal. You show the Arabs, they're betrayers. They betray their own brothers. They are half brothers. They betray their own brothers. Because they sit around here and false, new Israel, new false Israel, new mouse, squeak, squeak, squeak. And they come into their bedroom, come into their house, grab all their children and their women and bring them into the bathroom and beat them and rape them and everything else. And all you can do is say, hey, you need some water, you need anything to eat. That's what they're doing. They're right in the middle of Arabia. We fear nobody but Allah. You're a goddamn lie. We fear nothing but Allah. And you got this little squeaky mountain up there, and he's kicking your ass, he's raping your women, he's actually raping your men. And worse than that. What they doing to the women, worse than that, and the children. And you sitting around here, hey, Trump, hey, you betray us. You betray your own brother. You're proving it. See, everybody's, all the evidence is, see, we have to dig for it because the evidence is all over the place. Everything they've done is being exposed. All the nations are being exposed themselves. So now this, because that's what you would see in the judgment. So when the time comes for sentencing and execution, the evidence is clear because they're providing the evidence. Genocide and lying about it. Showing that global lies, the whole world can see. They see in them, but they see each other. We obey nobody but Allah. Oh, no, you're the jinn. You ain't submit to Allah. You ain't submit to the devils. Oh, please, America, protect us. I'm sorry, protect us. Give us. Oh, why you got to go to America to get protection? And you're in the holy city. You got Arabia. You got the language. You got the Quran. And you feel nobody but Allah. Lord, please protect us. You see the hypocrisy? You understand these things, bro, so you will understand in a minute. Everybody's exposing themselves who they are. Demons also, over here, they expose themselves. Right now, you see what's going on? It's so obvious that Farrakhan is who he is, and they still, hey, he's the Messiah. What? Ray Charles can see that one. You see, they show they're outright liars because the truth is so obvious. See, everybody's been exposed. Because that's why Farrakhan is such bad shape right now. So it's impossible for him to be what they say he is, but they're still saying it. So that shows how big of liars they are. Everybody's been exposed. Comes been pulled up. They say it's pull the skirt up, show their nakedness, then you drop the hammer on them. That's why you're doing your judgment. Everybody's been exposed. But let's get back to this, Steve. So there's a race war over there right now. That means a race war is coming here. The Bible tells you it's going to be a race war. They let us cut them off being a nation. The name of Jews, Israel will be remembered no more. They're still shrewd with them. And then what Pharaoh said about the children of Israel? Race war. Race war is coming here. When that war resumes, and it's going to resume soon, a race war is coming here. Because what you see over there is coming here. It tells you that. What you see over there is coming, and it's going to be so bad that people are going to have heart attacks just from anticipation. So if they have heart attacks and anticipation, what the hell do you think they're going to have once it actually gets here? That's what's about to happen, brothers and sisters. Shock of the hour. Let's move on. Now, knowing that and knowing what you're going through, you need to have how you survive it. So they tell you this stuff, but how you survive it? Because it says no hair on your head be harmed. How you make that happen? Because Jesus won't come and protect. No. It tells you have to obey the law. But you have to obey the law, you have to know the law, have to know how to understand how to apply it. And what kind of weapon will you have? You read the lessons? I'll read this carefully. I shouldn't read the whole thing, but I'm going to read it. What makes rain, hail, snow, earthquake? This is from Master Fra Muhammad. The earth is approximately covered underwater, approximately 3/4 of its surface. Sun and moon having attraction power on our planet, while our planet making a terrific speed of 1,037 to 130 miles away around the sun. Right? That means it's spinning, not how fast it's going around the sun. It spins. See? So the sun draws this world up into the earth's rotation, which is called gravitation. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to leave that one up with now. It's called gravitation, and it finds this that naked eye can hardly detect. But as this mist ascends higher, decreasing with other mists of water and different currents of the atmosphere until when she becomes heavier than gravitation. Then she distills back to the earth in the form of drops of water or drops of ice, which depends on how heavy the mist was and the current of air it was in. There are some layers or currents of air, real cold, warm, and some very swift and changeable. So about currents, right? So when the water strikes one of these cold currents, it becomes snow. But this water is not ever drawn above 6 miles from the Earth's surface by the sun and moon. The reason it rains back on our planet is because it cannot get out of the Earth's sphere. With its high speed of rotation around the sun makes it impossible. Earthquakes are caused by sudden man by experimenting on high explosives. Now, how it's supposed to, spirit being, talking about the angel. We saw earthquakes there. That's talking about physical earthquakes. Remember in chapter 6? The sixth seal? Anyway, but listen to the last part. In fact, all the above is caused by the Son of Man. I told you I'd get that for you. It's telling you control the weather once you come into knowledge of self. You get your mind back. You don't want control of the weather. That's going to be your weapon during tribulations. But your defense is discipline. See? Your weapon is the atmosphere. Music is part of your weapon. Right now it's just weak form because you don't have your mind back yet. It's like a child. You don't have a lot of money, but you don't know what to do with it. As you get older, you get better and better at it. Anyway, this little hit there, that's one of the things you're going to have. Because when you have Hajj, and everybody's thinking on the same wavelength, the same frequency, then you're going to think up hurricanes, tornadoes. It says it. Let me see this real quick, boss. Hold on. Something I forgot. I'm going to show you this if I can get it fast enough. I think I'll use this one for now. I'm going to use that one. You know, let's think about this. Quote it, but I'm going to show you scripture. Elijah does talk about this. I'm going to find the actual scripture. There's several scriptures. No, I forgot something. Oh, here it is. I think it's the one here. Oh boy, is that? What's the? Oh, hell. Yeah, use this. Oh, here it is. Okay. This be enough here. Use that. Use that one. Come to it. Oh. The second brothers and sisters. Found it. Oh, well. Okay, leave it. I'm not going to restrict you. Let's leave it like this. Mm-hmm. And a little bit. Yes. Okay, well, it's said here, brothers and sisters. You can check it out for yourself, right? Have you entered the treasure of snow, or have you seen the treasure of hail, which I have reserved for a time of trouble, for a day of battle and war? By the way it is light, diffused, when the east wind scatter over the earth, who has divided a channel for the overflowing waters with path for the thunderbolt, to cause to rain on a land where there is none, or woods in which there is no man. See? Nature's natural events. When you see and he's making it happen. To satisfy the desolate waste, to cause the spring forth growth to the grass. Has the rain your father, who has forgotten the drops of dew from whose womb comes forth nice? Okay, you got the point. Maybe you got, maybe didn't. This could be your weapon, brothers and sisters. It says, for a day of battle and war, and reserved for a time of trouble, for a day of battle and war. Who's going to be doing the battling? Who's going to be doing the do as you've done to you? Who's going to be doing it to you? You don't know the power you have, brothers and sisters, but you will realize it. That's one of the reasons why you got to go to tribulation. It says you're not returning that full knowledge of self. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. So what is, so you know what time it is. Now, we're going to go back to 1820s, where that's what was the situation. House niggers and field niggers. We had no power at all. We did what Mass told us to do. We had no power. Then something happens. 1860s. There was a war, resistance, our growth. The war was resistance to our growth. They tell you, oh, no. If you understand what happened, it was a resistance to our growth. They said, no, they freed us. No, they that's no tough, no story about this. That's more deception. Because every time something happens to you, they try to take credit for it. Like so-called civil rights in the 60s, they thought you every step of the way. Even Biden, I don't want my children going to nigger school. Anyway, so what happened here? First, every 50, it says, momentous in heaven and earth, but it comes of a sudden. Ask soon, what does that mean? It's momentous in heaven and earth, but it comes of a sudden. Ask the word doing what it means. It means you get the universe is contracting, we get an energy wave approximately every 50 years, which energizes everything on the planet, including us. So right here, there's enough energy to break. They tell you, Mark said, we broke the chains. They didn't break it, we broke them. They had some mountain and we broke them. But you don't know that you broke them. At any rate, so you had two divisions. You had one to stay with Master, One would get away from that to the cities. And blues came up. There was no blues before that. But blues is atmosphere. Music is atmosphere. And you start manipulating the atmosphere. All over the planet. Blues. You call yourself Negroes. When you call yourself Negroes, they weren't Negroes. Right? Two paths. Because here the blacks is this chaff that sowed amongst the wheat, the demons. Masters rape children. They want to stay with Master. We want to get the hell away from Master. 1860s, right? About 50 years later, in jazz, check it out. Jazz came along. Got another best energy. Got more energized. Stop calling ourselves Negroes, colors now. Two ideas. Be more like white people, Eurocentric, or be more like, things up. Like Africa as much we knew. Two different paths. We got two different two different natures. It makes becoming clearer. Before we thought it was the same here, but now we start to realize we're two different people. It's not clear yet. It's getting there. And what, 50 years later? Oh, more times, mothers. Look at these signs, almost every 50 years. And then look, see, integration, separation, now becoming more defined. And now we got two different, not just Negroes or colors. Oh, one's calling themselves blacks, one's calling themselves African Americans. Because African Americans, we want to be more like, we don't just be like you, we want to live next to you. Integration, we want to be part of your health. We want to be in with you. We marry your daughters and carry on. Integration, we want to tell you civil rights. We want to be equal with you. See? He said, hell, we want to get the hell away from you. We want to be equal with you. We're better than you. We want to get the hell away from here. Am I wrong? That's exactly what happened. The exact time frame. New music. Stay loud. I'm black and proud. People got rid of it. Stop processing their hair. They want to bridge their hair. Stop throwing their bridge their hair. Afro. Wrong? And now the separation becomes even more, distinction between the two becomes even more critical, more dramatic, distinction between the two. Because back here we thought it was all the same thing. Now we start to see, no, man, we're two different people. And that 50 years later, where we are right now, now we know we're two different, because you got domestic cutters explaining, no. Because he would be the one, Elijah was told, no, teach both of them. He'd be the one that caused separation. Separate the wheat from the chaff. But no, we're two different people, see? How far we are? How we are thinking? See? 2020, that's where we are right now, 50 years later. In 2020, that means what's going to happen? More division? More powerful? That's the pattern. Okay? What kind of music? It's going to be music of victory. We're going home and they're going to stay and try to take America. And one thing you might want to ask yourself is, one thing I ask yourself is, what kind of conversation would the one on the left have? Right? What kind of conversation would the right have? Because one go one way, one go the other way. So let's look at the conversation one on the left has. See if we can find who that one is. That one wants to be, so let's see if we can identify who that one on the left is.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right.
That's my video, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna see if I can get it play right. That's the way it.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Waterford and I have had disagreement, but his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and
Well, Rob Simpson, I'm probably recording. Let me try one more time. They messed with my system again, what can I tell you? Let me just do it this way, brothers and sisters. Not a shortcut, but it'll work.
a nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't you go that way? if the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
It's interesting. Sound like a person that left. Let's continue. But now, let's go back. Okay, see here? Now, the vision becomes greater because now, at this point, the thing is so great that they know they're two different people. The one's demons and one is Israel. They know they're two different people. And they hate each other. The chaff hates the wheat, and wheat hates the chaff. So he's calling each other out. He's calling them out as demons. You ain't us. You skin folk. You ain't kinfolk. They call us out. Because we stupid. We crazy, man. We ain't going nowhere. We need to stay here and fight, take this country. Right? Stop talking about devils, aren't. See? Conflict between the two. Conflict was always there. It's just now it's distinct because now it's clear. They're two different people. Let's just take this. Let's go. Let's see where it goes.
I believe.
Now they hate each other now, right? Okay, let's go.
When the Muslims were alive, I'll say it again. When the Muslims were alive, you as hell now on both sides. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, we are. Yes, sir. That's real, both sides. That's real. When we were alive, we set up schools.
That's right.
When we were alive, we had supermarkets. We owned buildings. We owned farmlands. We were busy doing something, hiring our people. Well, I'm telling the Muslims, damn it, if you don't come alive, you will die like you are. And I will say, thank you, Allah, because if they're not doing nothing on top of the earth, let the worms eat their ass.
Make it up, brothers and sisters. You got none but love for the devils in America. For the NOI, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't going along with me. You ain't doing things like I want you to do it. Forget about the fact that he's the one, him and Father, that destroyed them when they were alive. Y'all the one that killed them. Then you come back as buzzards to eat the flesh. So he didn't mention that part. When he was alive, who killed him? You did. But now he loves the devils. He loves America no matter what they've done to us. But because you ain't going along with him, there's Islam, the other side, you ain't going along with him. He'll allow worms eat your ass. Okay? Make up what you will. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. So now, what would this? What kind of thing? What would his disposition be? What are you talking about? Actually, I could have did it. You see, there's a covenant. If you talk about the covenant, time to go home, brothers and sisters. Devils are devils. You're wicked 100%, like the Savior said. Like Master Muhammad said, they 100% wicked. They cannot be reformed. We don't kiss them and get rid of them. Remove from the person of the planet. Remove them from the place of the planet. Time to go home. Got the angel, broke the seals. Tribulation. We got to struggle to get home. Wars. That's what we're talking about. Is that what this was talking about? For 30-some years, that's what we're talking about, right? What Mr. Farrakhan talking about. He tells you, he want to stay here. He like it here. Isn't that what Legion said? Louis Eugene Grounds, and went backwards. My name is Legion. We have many demons. But he said, please don't make me leave the country. Stop tormenting me. There was a battle between the two. Come on, brothers and sisters. Okay, war is coming, brothers and sisters. Men's hearts failing for fear those things come upon the earth because the powers be shaken. War. We're in economic war right now because I explain that. I'm not going to it. I'm not going to shut this down, brothers and sisters. But right now, economic war because they sent your jobs overseas, industrial jobs, because they want you to have them. And you have jobs, they want you to have them, so they gave it to the Indians. They didn't want you to have them. And the fact is, and I can prove it, you're best qualified for them, they know it. So the economic war with you, ever since you've been here, actually, with capitalism, is economics. Maximum profit, minimum hit, they can get work out of you, give you anything. In fact, they gave us less. They wouldn't even give us decent food. They gave us shit to eat. That's what shillings is. Shit. Right there, now they call it chillings. Some of us still, they don't eat it. And a race war, it's been a race war too, but now it's getting to hit global. Race war is about to hit America. It's been a race war all the time, now it's going to become unprecedentedly violent. They'll attack you based on race. Initially, it's going to be whites against blacks. But as Suleiman takes and separates blacks into two groups, chaff and wheat, and there will be a war between those two, and then there'll be a war between the chaff and the devils. That's Bob Samson. There could be a bloodbath here. Race war, there's going to be a religious war. In America, that's what happened over here. Because the race war is going on right now in Gaza. It's going to turn into religious war because Iran and Palestine is going to get into it and it's going to be devastated, obliterated. American Brits going to be cast out. And Sunnis, well, it's helping them and helping them in that war. So it's going to be a war between Iran and Syria and the Shia Sunni. Bloodbath. It was a bloodbath in the first war. We take out false Israel, and then it's going to get bloodier in the religious war. The religious war is coming here. Go tell the dragon stood by, that's religious part. So that represents the Sunni. If I was Susan born, that's coming here. Are you ready for it? I need to tell you it's coming. It's coming. It's on the horizon. It's at the door. It's knocking. It's at the door. How you going to defend yourself? You'll call on Jesus? I'm not going to help you. Because you don't know who Allah is. Or Master Muhammad is not going to help you in that. That's a baptism you got to go through. When you see how you put iron in the furnace, why are you putting there? To burn off all the impurities. Iron might not like it. Oh, please, Jesus, give me all this furnace. No. You're in it for a purpose. With a hard cost. Hard cost was to turn some diamonds. Nobody helped us. In fact, when you look around, tell me one nation on this planet, one nation or people on this planet that stood for us. Arabs didn't. It was in hard cost. Africans didn't. They helped sell us and save themselves. Devils didn't. China didn't. Nobody did. But we around here, they want you to feel sorry for the Sunnis and the Palestinians and all these people. They're getting, even though they're being oppressed by, but they're getting what they deserve too, because they was the primary ones that sold us into slavery. They're right there. They're in the gateway between the two Africas. Arabia is really North Africa. In the gateway. And the Europeans, when you see in Genesis, they put a flaming sword around the tree so they couldn't get at it. It was a flaming sword. But they didn't stand. And they let Adam Eve get at us. They betrayed us. Everybody's just we're in the judgment now. Everybody's getting what they backfiring like all over the place. Everybody's getting justice. Every day is getting worse and worse and worse until we restore it, redeemed back to our original position. It's not going to happen because somebody waved a wand. We're going to take it. But Joshua say, Lord, give me the promised land. He said, no, here it is, go take it. There it is right there. He gave you transportation. And he said, go take it. That's what we have to do. Are you ready? You have your protection. You know what your protection is? You have your weapons. You know what it is? That's why you're going to shock the hour. You'll be in panic mode. And some of you are not going to survive it. You're religious. That's the Sunni. Sunni's going to attack us. What's going to attack us? All the demons, they're the same race. Sunni's going to attack us. What I call civil. Because you got the demons and the devils fighting each other. Same race. Oh, kind of unprecedented trouble, brothers and sisters. That's what's going to take the birth of this nation, come and see the great army. All the blood and the labor pains and everything else. It's going to take to bring you into existence, brothers and sisters. War. It's not far away. My calculation was we're going to be knee deep in it before Christmas. What's that? 2 weeks away? Whoa. See, it is. Men's hearts failing them for fear and expectation. That means they have heart attacks. Global heart attacks. Epidemic heart attacks. Only expectation. Not the realization, just the expectation. Let me play these and then close bounces. I think I got, hold on. I think I got to read this. Let me see. I got to read this. Well, you see Jerusalem, remember that's there. From armies that know the desolation is near. They're going to be destroyed. That's them. They see Abraham. And let those who are in the Judea fleets of the mountain, those who are in the midst of the herd, depart, and let not those who are in the country enter here. For days are days of vengeance. Vengeance, not love. Jesus comes with love. No, vengeance. Who vengeance? You do vengeance, somebody does something to you. Who is done the worst to? Us, and especially our females. We don't want to take the vengeance. All nations been against us. You have to take a vengeance for something done. That's the reaction to some action. Vengeance is reaction to action. So what was the action? Holocaust. Now you're getting the vengeance and consequence. All these things was written, they fulfilled. But those who are pregnant, America's pregnant with us. They're the one they're talking about. Those nurses with babies in those days. Right? Pregnancy is going on. That's where the trouble is right there. Those who are pregnant, right here. But there will be great dresses land and wrath upon this people. Wrath upon them. And they fall by edge of sword and be cut in all nations and just be trampled by Gentiles to the time Gentiles fulfill. Nation. I'll talk about a little bit, but I'm going to get a little more in a while. There will be signs in the sun and moon and stars, or with the stress of nations, with perplexity, be confused. Angel minds on the scene now. New world's coming in, they confused. Oh, what's this? I don't know what to do. I don't know the winter. I don't know what spring. What you do in spring? I don't know anything about any spring. Seeing the waves roaring. This heart fell with fear. Next page of things was come upon earth, powers heaven be shaken. Then you see the Son of Man come in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up, lift your heads, because your redemption draws. That means it's bad for them. Good for you, because you the one causing it. Lift your heads. See, because all this stuff happened because you're rising. See, earth is bad for everybody else. It's hot, belly, and everything else for you. Stand tall. You see, that's nowhere telling you you're the one causing all this. They react to you, and you whooping their ass. Okay, I'm going to play these.
1. Now after the death of Moses the servant of the Lord it came to pass, that the Lord spake unto Joshua the son of Nun, Moses' minister, saying, To Moses my servant is dead, now therefore arise, go over this Jordan, thou, and all this people, unto the land which I do give to them, even to the children of Israel. 3. Every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. 4. From the wilderness and this Lebanon even unto the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites, and unto the great sea toward the going down of the sun, shall be your coast. 5. There shall not any man be able to stand before thee all the days of thy life, as I was with Moses, so I will be with thee, I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee.
There's Aaron's not a picture. Joshua. How come you don't talk about Joshua? Oh, Aaron. No, Aaron's not a picture. Because they passed over Aaron because Aaron was no goddamn good. Demon. Messed the people up. Had worse than the golden calf. Right? Trying to away from the message teachers. Let's go to the next one, brothers and sisters.
Six. Be strong and of a good courage, for unto this people shalt thou divide for an inheritance the land, which I swear unto their fathers to give them. 7. Only be thou strong and very courageous, that thou mayest observe to do according to all the law, which Moses my servant commanded thee, turn not from it to the right hand or to the left, that thou mayest prosper whithersoever thou goest. 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein, for then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. 9. Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of a good courage, be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
It didn't depend on him worshiping anything. It depended on him liking it, being rude or nice, cute. It allowed him stand adhere to the law. Discipline. That's what law is, discipline. If you apply that law, stick to it, They can't touch. That's your protection. Somebody, Jesus, somebody waving the wine, somebody walking water. That's your protection. 5 pillars. And I show you not only the discipline, but show you how to manage, because it's all about energy management, how to manage your energy. That's what discipline is. Manage your energy. The more you manage it, the more powerful you become.
One. And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath driven thee, to, and shalt return unto the Lord thy God, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart, and with all thy soul. 3. That then the Lord thy God will turn thy captivity, and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Lord thy God hath scattered thee. For if any of thine be driven out unto the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will the Lord thy God gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. 5. And the Lord thy God will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers.
Say, brothers and sisters, you have a choice between Farrakhan, devils, and Mr. Covenant. Death or life. Your choice. Nobody's going to force you. You're going to break this American dream so you can see clearly, but then, so when you make a choice, you make a knowledgeable choice.
See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. 16. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply, and the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it. 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt be drawn away, and worship other gods, and serve them. 18. I denounce unto you this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land, whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live. 20. That thou mayest love the Lord thy God, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
It's your choice, brothers, between devils and the demons and the covenant. Your reward. So if you live this world's life, you always hang with them, that's death. But you have to be 100% decision. So all your life, let's see, it says here, anyway, it says, anyway, you read your leisure, brothers and sisters. Okay, this is a problem. We're all mixed together. Everyone's causing a problem, the crime, the rape, and all that kind of stuff. Because they devils. They mixed in with us. They look like us. And they have to be separated. When it's separated, then we get purified and on the way home. We have to separate them because we're not taking them with us. Saints and demons. Half of blacks in America are demons. Okay, I'm leaving it there, brothers and sisters. Let's go through this quickly. Anyway, this is your look at yesterday's presentation. Explains this in a little more detail. But that presentation explained it in great detail. 5 pillars. That's your defense. Angel. Lots. They got a weapon against you. They got weapons against you in each one of these principles. But if you apply them, those weapons will not prevail. So no weapon will prevail against you. Currents. Fasting, electricity. Hodge harmonic motion. Injured bone sisters. This is the pressure. This is forcing this. This is the force action that's causing this reaction. So long as the action exists, you don't keep getting this reaction. You want to stop this reaction, get rid of the action. The Farrakhan blaming us for the action. See, God, he blamed us for the action because he's one of them. No, this is the cause for the action, for the reaction. This is the cause of reaction. This is a reaction to this. When it's removed, then when he stop blowing, it stop happening. Okay, I'm not going to. Let me be clear, brothers and sisters. A race war here. So if you want to love these devils, hang on to them, because you will be food for them. Because cannibalism is going to reign, because when that war resume over there, it's going to cause economic collapse all through Europe, and then it's going to happen here. Because what they see happen there, it's going to happen here. Economic collapse. These people who cannot go 3 meals out without eating, you can start eating their own, their pets, and you. It says it. They be young children, raw. What happened here? It tells you what's happened. It tells you what your weapon is, your defense. You can apply it or not, it's up to you. Wait, maybe it'll be too late. But no one's even telling you about what's about to happen. The calamity is about to happen. So you sure hell can't tell you how to protect yourself from it. Oh, it's dark, bro. Just believe Farrakhan. Who Farrakhan gonna believe in? You can't wipe it on the ass. Race war. Did it look like he looked like he realized there's a race war coming? Really? Personal plot. Google it. And then be cast out. So I'm gonna close it here, brothers and sisters.
We have a lot of that going on, so we're taking care of our farmers. We can't let our farmers not have anybody, these people, you can't replace them very easily. People that live in the inner city are not doing that work. They're just not doing that work. And they've tried, we've tried, everybody tried, They don't do it. These people do it naturally. I said, what happens if they get it to a farmer the other day? What happens if they get a bad back? He said, they don't get a bad back, sir, because if they get a bad back, they die. I said, that's interesting, isn't it?
Well, you heard that. Donald Trump is a believer in eugenics. He believes that white people are the superior race. And inner city is code for black people. And he believes black people cannot now work on the farms. I guess they're not good enough for that. So Hispanic people can do it because they have the backs for it. This is what this man is saying out loud in interviews. He is a racist. It's been proven time and time again. The man had Mein Kampf on his bedside table that he would read at night. Enough to let you know where he stands on that. Just more outrageous, racist things from Donald Trump. They want to arrest those who can do the farm work well until their backs give out. And then he'll probably ship them to El Salvador or some other country. Just more vile statements from the president and let you know where he stands.
When they were arresting people for praying outside of abortion clinics. I mean, I do think the UK, and I say this as, someone who is half English, I think it's like reached, or it is quickly reaching a point where democratic reforms are going to be pretty tough because of the demographic change. And that, of course, the point of importing all these people is to overwhelm the people who live there who disapprove of the programs. You don't have to care what they think because you just bring in new people, and their will becomes like all that matters. And so I don't think you're going to fix these things through elections at some point, probably pretty soon. And I just worry a place like the UK, Canada is another, a bunch of different countries in the West are at the point where they're literally revolutionary. They are poised for revolution. And as someone who really doesn't support revolution and hates violence and hates civil war above all, I'm worried about that. I mean, I don't see how this is fixed. Starmer, who's, he's just an instrument of larger forces, but he's a poisonous character, obviously, who's really hurt your country. He's in there for 4 more years. And so you wonder, people are going to start to get really radical in a scary way. I think this is going to happen. And the people in charge don't seem to care.
Well, you're already seeing it. You are seeing the anger beginning to manifest itself. And I completely understand the anger. I don't, like you, I abhor any form of violence. But I do understand the anger when you have, Keir Starmer campaign. I'm going to smash the gangs that allow these little boats to come over the channel, delivering tens of thousands of people illegally into the country. And they then get put into these so-called asylum hotels where they're given a pretty good lifestyle. Certainly a far better lifestyle than many people really struggling at the moment in the UK. And of course, far from smashing the gangs, it turned out yesterday that he's smashing new records for the number of people coming in illegally on the boats. It's out of control. And the British public are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly?
They are reaching a point of saying, we are done with people coming in illegally and being treated better in a more comfortable and more luxurious manner than we treat our own people.
Well, the whole point is to humiliate and degrade the indigenous population of the British Isles, the white population. I mean, that's the whole point. And are they really going to do something about it? What would that be exactly? You'd really have to force a lot of people to go back to their countries of origin, millions of people, and you need to do it really soon. And are they actually willing to do that? I don't know, but these are existential questions that we have been browbeat into ignoring for decades. But the question is is Ireland Ireland? If it's majority non-Irish, oh, shut up, they're Irish. No, they're actually not Irish. Same with the UK, same with England, Scotland, Wales. It's all changing so fast. Nothing like this has ever happened in all of history. except when, say, the Mongols swept across the steppe and raped everybody. Like, that was true demographic change on this scale. But even that wasn't as profound as what we're seeing in every white country around the world. I would say the West, but Australia and New Zealand also. So, like, what is that? Now, my brain is not big enough to understand what that is. I have a lot of theories about it, but I don't know if they're true. All I know is what the numbers are, and that's real, and no one feels that he can say it. Everyone's like, oh, well, if that were happening in China or India or Malaysia or Senegal, it doesn't matter. You'd be like, what the hell is that? Like, the population's totally different. Look at graduation. Pick, I don't know, King's College Law School, and look at the graduation picture for the last 30 years. Who's in it? Just like, let your eyes tell you the truth for once. Like, this is a total change in population. Is it better? Is it worse? Can't have that conversation. Who's pushing this? Does the population want it? The population clearly doesn't want it. There's no polling that's meaningful on the subject. I mean, there's no referendum on it. You don't get to decide. You've got no voice in it, other than you get to go to jail if you complain loudly enough about it. What is this? I think it's the biggest and darkest thing that has happened in the last 1,000 years, for sure. And I think it's leading somewhere really, really bad. It's not happening by accident, that's obvious, because it's only happening in white countries.
I mean, I think...
Don't shut up, white supremacist. In fact, I'm not a white supremacist. Well, I'm just noticing what the hell's going on.
I think most people I've spoken to about this in the UK, most people have always viewed the UK to be a very tolerant, multicultural, cosmopolitan place to live. That's why so many people want to come here. And people have no problem with that. And it's been very successful for a long period of time.
But it's multicultural? What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law... What does that mean?
We have a lot of different people from different countries, different cultures, and it's always worked historically.
So is Sharia law, in a multicultural country, is Sharia law every bit as valid as English common?
No, people don't want Sharia law here. No.
A lot of people do. Wait, hold on. I don't know what you mean. Multiculturalism itself is the lie designed to subvert a society. No, a society has a culture. You can argue about what it is or ought to be. It's not necessarily the same as race. It's connected to race, but it's not the same. People from different races can buy into your culture. That was kind of the beauty of the West. But a multicultural society is not sustainable. There's no
your society is
one
about
culture will dominate.
Hang on, surely the United States of America, given the very way it was created, is the epitome of a multicultural society. And my point I was going to make to you was...
It's absolutely not. No. It's a multiracial society.
Yeah.
Though it was not actually a multiracial society up until pretty recent. It's just like 90% white for most of its existence, but whatever. But you did have different peoples, you had different religions. That was all totally fine, but there was one culture, it's American culture. There's no such thing as a multicultural society. It's not sustainable. One culture will overwhelm the other. Again, it's not the same as race. It's not identical to race. It's connected, but it's not the same. But multiculturalism is by definition insane. No, it's never happened. It never will happen. One culture will predominate. It will impose its values on everybody else. I mean, the gay thing, which was not a thing 40 years ago, gay was a slur, all of a sudden becomes multicultural there. There's one culture, and it's required. And that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
Those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You don't have one guy in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
If you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's
determined by the Founding Fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. That's natural. It's natural that people's views evolve.
So values can evolve.
There's one culture, and it's required, and that's true in every society, because a culture is a commonly agreed upon set of values, which in their firmest form are called laws.
But those values can evolve.
This is true everywhere.
But those values can evolve.
Of course they evolve, but there's only one set of them. It's not multicultural. There's one set. You worship one God in every society. Sorry.
Your country's values were established by the United States Constitution, and that's had, what is it, 26, 27 amendments? Right, so your own values, as determined by the founding fathers, they have evolved and been changed to accommodate changing time.
There's no doubt. Look, I'm not even arguing against change. Natural that people's views evolve.
So the culture changes.
When you're rejecting the laws of nature, then you're doomed. But let me just say, no, of course, societies change. I get it. All I'm saying, I'm making a very discrete, specific point, which is multiculturalism as an idea is laughably stupid. It has never worked. We never had it anywhere, and it never will exist because it's contrary to human nature. One culture, one way of looking at things, one worldview will predominate, and it will punish all who deviate from it. That is the nature of societies. So if you're telling me it's multicultural, we can all live and have radically different values, that's just not true. It's never been true, it never will be true. So you're having one worldview predominate over another and dominate and suppress all dissent. That's just what it is.
I would point to the United States of America and the United Kingdom as two shining examples, albeit not completely without their flaws, the shining examples of places that are deemed by the rest of certainly feel that about my country.
Well, I certainly think that inherent in Christianity is the notion of tolerance, and that draws from a core Christian concept, which is free will. You cannot force someone to convert. There's never been conversion by the sword in Christianity. People decide to believe in it. And so that is central to the religion, therefore it's been central to the society. Western civilization is Christian civilization, and so we call that tolerance. It's a respect for your inherent God-given right to make a choice about what you believe. Okay, so of course, that's always been a feature. My only point is, a society has a commonly agreed upon set of beliefs, rules, and laws that are the definition of the society itself. That's what society is. So you can't have competing. You can't have, gay world and Sharia world living co-equally in a society. That does not happen. It will never happen. So you have to pick one. Are we the Sharia society? Are we the party time gay rights society? Which one? And you can't face that reality, so you're just sort of snoozing along until the inevitable point where you can wake up and be like, my values have no bearing on what our society is anymore, because we've been invaded by other people with a totally different worldview, and they're now in charge. And that day is coming very soon for your country, and maybe it'll improve it. I don't think the UK could be a lot worse than it already is. It's this kind of disgusting, sad, self-hating, suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English person, but that day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architect. That's a choice that we're all going to face. Suicidal island that was once great. It kills me to see it as a half English. That day is coming. It will change. You will either decide to be Western or Eastern. That's a choice that we're all going to face. I don't want to face that choice, but it's being foisted upon us by the architects of mass migration. Sorry.
I would question your characterization as my country as a sad, disgusting, the rest of it suicidal nation. I feel none of those things. I feel very happy to be in the United Kingdom, and I feel that there are lots of very happy.
Our system, the Western system, which is very distinct from the Eastern system, very distinct, and it's distinct on this one precise point, we believe, and have always believed since this country was founded, since your country became not a pure monarchy, but even when it was a pure monarchy, the belief in the West, because of Christianity, was the worst thing you can do is punish the innocent. That's the worst thing you can do. That's worse than not punishing the guilty. And we often said that to each other. We no longer say that because there is a pretty concerted effort to blur the meaning of these terms. But I'm not going to be deterred from defining words precisely. Terror is murdering people, killing people, punishing people who committed no crime. Period.
So when the Israeli government says it has repeatedly that even though over 20,000 completely innocent children are believed to have died in their response to what Hamas did on October the 7th at the hands of the IDF, there are many on the pro-Palestinian side who say that Israel is behaving like terrorists too in the way that they have gone about conducting this war. Would you go as far as to say that?
One of the things that I really object to now is this relentless focus on Israel, which, by the way, is a foreign country that I have nothing to do with.
We've done this before. Now, maybe today things are different, and we will end up living in a nation that is sharply divided and may ultimately produce something else. But I'm an American. I love my country. I want to see it stay together. I'm interested in social cohesion, which means that I think our laws, customs, and culture have to be dominant. We can accept some diversity on the edges, but not fundamental division. I think we're in a state of fundamental division. So when I bring up Sharia law, I've sat in many discussions with many people that said, well, I don't care what people look like, but I do care about Sharia law, and I don't want that practiced anywhere near my family or in my country. And that's something you should be aware of. So the notion that someone can come here and say, well, that's part of my religion and we're going to abide by Sharia law, they're going to find serious resistance and opposition in the country. That's It's because it matters. It's this thing we call societal cohesion. Nations do not exist on their own. They have a core population. Our core population from the very beginning was always at least 80% European and Christian and about 15 to 20% African. But when you start bringing in huge numbers, millions, who are fundamentally different from the core population, you are going to get violence, anger, and conflict. How many times have you heard people say, if you bring people in from the developing world, what do you get? The developing world. And now we've got that. You can't bring in hundreds of thousands of people from Somalia, plant them, of all places, in Minnesota, and then be shocked that, no, they're not Americans. They're not really interested in being Americans. They're foreigners living on American soil. Nobody wants to say that publicly. If you do, oh, well, you're a racist. Well, you know, the world is full of racists. The real war that's going to decide our fate is not going to be fought anywhere overseas. It's going to be fought right here inside the United States. Are we going to survive as a republic, as an English-speaking republic that rests on the foundations of Western civilization? Or are we going to become something else?
One point that is
The Constitution was completed in 1789. I think we had 5 million people living in the 13 British colonies. We were 90% white, that is excluding the Africans who were in the country who had been brought here as slaves. But we were 90% white. We were 90% Protestant. And this may be hard for you to believe, but the people that wrote that were trying to protect all of the Protestant sects from a state church on the model of the Church of England and the Roman Catholic Church. That's one of the reasons it was almost 100 years or more after that before people began to finally accept Catholicism as a religion, because it was viewed as political power. My point to you is the Constitution is outdated. The way we are governed is outdated. It has to be re-examined. Nobody in 1789 imagined that anybody would come to the United States except another lunatic, religious fanatical Protestant who hated the Church of England. That's what people feared. That's what they thought of. The Constitution that we have does many good things, but I would argue that the Bill of Rights is ultimately more important. The Bill of Rights is vital and essential, and that needs to be defended. But the Constitution and the way we govern and the things that we're doing, it's out of date. It doesn't fit our needs. And that's back to my comment on something given has no value. You have to earn it. And we haven't made anybody earn their place in this country. I'm talking about people like me that have been here forever. My first ancestor stepped off the boat in 1681. So we've got to get back to some notion of national service, because national service promotes national integration. It addresses some of these problems that you're discussing. Now, I know that you may not want to conform and may not want to be as I am, but I'm an American and nobody questions that. Nobody ever will. If you don't want to stand out and be questioned, then I suggest that you change your appearance, because I don't think it's life or death for you to wear what you wear.
I think this conversation.
It's not fun, because it's leading to violence that could have otherwise been avoided. You see, every great nation, every large nation can always accept some number of people into its ranks that are different from them. It's always been the case. But if you suddenly import millions, which is what's happened here and happened in Europe, then you threaten the core gene pool. What I'm trying to tell you is there's a problem. And we can all think that there isn't, and you can insist there isn't, but that's the view. And I think it's incumbent upon all of us to address it truthfully and openly. Stop pretending it's not a problem. It's a problem.
I mean, what's also a problem is white supremacy, and that's.
No, because you're saying you're different, you're going to remain different, and you don't think that if that's not compatible with being an American, then the hell with it. That's what you're going to do.
Well, then what do you make then of, white American people who convert, let's say, to Islam and choose to cover? Are they not American anymore?
Listen, if they want to do that, that's obviously their business. I don't know how many are out there that do that. I think again, it's ill-advised. I think you have to hold the society together. There has to be an agreement on certain things, customs, culture, way of life. And unfortunately, if you're going to practice rigidly a brand of Islam that demands certain things, and this is why I asked right off the bat, do you support Sharia law?
I'm a Muslim. What being a Muslim means is I follow the guidelines of my religion, which is a peaceful.
Does your religion dictate to you Sharia law?
My religion dictates to me to be a good human being, to be good to my neighbors,
that the most powerful force in today's Republican Party is represented by what Charlie Kirk said. It is this drive to make America a white Christian nation. I got to tell you, this is what they say privately. This is not what they say publicly. This is what Charlie Kirk said publicly.
And Joe, again, one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, because you know these people very, very well. Yeah. You said it yourself. You were one of the strongest voices. You were one of the folks who understood the incendiary language when you were in Congress, when you had your radio show, and how people loved when you did it. And then when you chose to apologize for that and turn away from it, oh my God, they literally have just tried to destroy you because of that.
Yeah, again, you know the deal, Roland, right? I came out publicly against Trump 7 years For 7 years, I put up with death threats on a regular basis. Nobody is welcome in that party unless you bow down to what this force is, this MAGA force. And again, look, there have been some people on the left who've celebrated Charlie Kirk's murder. Shame on them, be better people, but this is much worse, Roland, what my former friends are doing on the right, because they are turning this into a holy war. When you say we declare war on the left because of what some 22-year-old young guy did in Utah, and then you declare war on the whole left, that's a lot worse than celebrating Charlie Cook's murder, because that's dishonest, but that's also inciting hate and violence. And Roland, look, Trump's an idiot. So yeah, Trump says the left, the problem in the country is the left. J.D. Vance is not an idiot. What did J.D. Vance say today, right? He was subbing for Charlie Kirk on his radio show, and he spent the entire show going after the left, going after them, they, them. Man, Democrats need to wake up, Roland. This is a really serious deal by my former colleagues. The stuff that I hear privately from them right now, Roland, for the last 5 days, I mean, they want to go to war. This is a holy war.
Oh, it absolutely is. And what really jumps out at me on this very thing here, Joe, and I've been saying this, I played the speech 2 weeks ago that mainstream media just ignored, of Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, who gave a speech at NatCon, Peter Thiel's group, where he literally gave a white nationalist speech, where he said our ancestors fought for this country to be ours and no one else. He was talking about white people. He was basically saying, if you are Black, Latino, Asian American, or even Native American, America is not for you. And folks just ignored it. And so people need to understand, again, what they're saying, why they're saying it. And yes, there are many evangelicals, any very conservative white Christians who are pushing this as well. And you nailed it. They want a holy war. They want a race war. They want this to be a white country. It is clear as day.
And Roland, really important point, Charlie Kirk at only 31, the impact he had because he was one of the most successful pushers of this white Christian nationalistic idea. And so I think that's why all of his defenders are out there so strenuously denying he said anything divisive, because they know if you really go through Charlie Kirk's public record, everything he said about people of color and Black women and Muslims and gays and transgenders, if people took the time to go through all of that, and that was put out for average people to see, they'd be blown away by it. That's why his defenders are like supercharged right now. They don't want that record to be seen.
Today, you mentioned, and I mentioned as well, Vice President J.D. Vance sitting to do his show. And listen to this man just blatantly lie, Joe. Play it.
I read a story in The Nation magazine about my dear friend Charlie Kirk. Now, The Nation isn't a fringe blog. It's a well-funded, well-respected magazine whose publishing history goes back to the American Civil War. George Soros' Open Society Foundation funds this magazine, as does the Ford Foundation and many other wealthy titans of the American progressive movement. The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never uttered those words. He made an argument against affirmative action as a policy. He criticized a specific Supreme Court justice as an individual. He never said anything about Black women as a group. He made an argument for judging people of all races and backgrounds by their own individual merits.
Bullshit.
Okay, Joe, this is actually what he said.
No, Roland, that's utter bullshit.
In fact, you know, if we would have said 3 weeks ago, Blake, if we would have said that Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action picks, we would have been called racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut 52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color.
All right, Joe, he literally said it. Not only that, Vance lied. Soros does not fund the nation. So he sat there and flat out lied.
And Roland, remind me, what's J.D. Vance's job? He's the vice president, and yet he had time today to do a radio show for a former right-wing podcaster. I mean, look what they're not even, Roland, they're not even subtle about it, what this White House is doing. They believe, man, the path to victory is fear, hate, and division. And that's what they're putting out there. That was Charlie Kirk literally going after 4 accomplished black women by saying they didn't have the brain power to get where they got. This is what he believed. And this is what MAGA believes. And that, again, Roland, broken record, that's why Charlie Kirk was so damn successful. Why he had such a big audience.
Yeah, and not only that, you take Nick Fuentes, who's to the right of Charlie Kirk. The night of or the day after Kirk was shot and killed, Fuentes had 200,000 people watching him live. And so what you have this fervor. And so when I listen to Trump and Vance and all these people talking about, how the left, they're indoctrinating. No, and you know this very well, the indoctrination. We've had people who formerly with Turning Point USA put out videos talking about how it was really this cult-like figure, this messianic figure that they sort of set Kirk up as, and how they want them to follow that. And so that's what's going on here. These people are not trying to have open dialogue. And not only that, Joe, you take Trump, okay? Trump was very clear in saying he was not going to call Governor Tim Walz after those 4 folks were shot in Minnesota. 2 were killed, including former Speaker of the House and her husband. Now today he's saying, he never even heard of Melissa Hortman, and if the governor had asked him, he would have, of course, lowered the flags to have staff. I'm sorry, he's also lying. He knew about her. He knew about the shooting, but he was so arrogant that he said, 2 Democrats, a Democrat Speaker of the House, shot and killed. Yeah, I don't care, but lower the flags to have staff with Charlie Kirk. Flies body on Air Force 2. Do a memorial service at the Community Center. Do another one at the Arizona Cardinals Stadium. Give him the Medal of Freedom. And I'm telling you, they're going to give him a state funeral. That's what you're seeing right now. And then you got Peter Hegseth going after members of the military who said anything negative in the aftermath of his death. You've got Kirk supporters creating a database of people of every social media post, and then even Vance saying in the podcast, you call their employer. So the so-called free speech people, all of a sudden are saying, if you say anything negative about Charlie Kirk, after what took place last week, we're going to come after you, come after your job. I thought they hated cancel culture, Joe.
Yeah. Roland, I remember back in my right-wing radio days, I would come on every day, and there was always some story about some leftist group on a college campus that couldn't handle speech that made them uncomfortable
To say.
Roland, this is scary, and you and I are old enough, man, to remember huge figures in American history who were gunned down, struck down, military leaders, civil rights leaders. We are treating this 31-year-old podcaster, MAGA influencer, like he's Jesus Christ. So I come from the right. Why are my old colleagues and friends on the right doing this, Roland? Because the right wants a religious war. Let's just call it. They want a civil war. They want a holy war. That's why they're putting him up to be some Jesus-like martyr.
Absolutely. I mean, Glenn Beck literally came out and said he was a civil rights leader. Oh my God, stop it. Stop it. I've seen people say, I've seen a lot of these videos, I'm leaving my church because my pastor did not mention him. This was a Christian warrior. And let's just be clear. You said it, white Christian nationalists. It's slaveholder religion. We heard a lot of this stuff during slavery, during Jim Crow, things along those lines. And this whole idea about, it was about debate. It was about, exchange of ideas. I mean, come on, let's just stop it. And so we see what's going on here. We see the games that are being played. And then what gets me, Joe, is this whole deal of, oh my God, the left, how they indoctrinated him and the accused killer going to a university. The dude was at a university for one semester, Joe. You're trying to tell me that one semester at a mostly white institution in Mormon, Utah, which is not a liberal bastion, somehow just radicalized him? I mean, it really is showing folks the hand they're trying to play.
Yeah, and I think even on top of that, Roland, I think it was like some technical school. So it wasn't some crazy liberal arts school for a semester. Look, cut through all the BS. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, has publicly said that America should be a white Christian country. This is what animates my former party. Roland, you know me, right? Tea Party Hellraiser. I don't come from the left. I left the Republican Party when the Republican Party became MAGA. And my fellow Democrats and folks on the left need to understand, now these people are on the right. Now this is MAGA. MAGA now are the snowflakes. MAGA, Roland, they now need their safe spaces. It's funny, but it's not funny. And you're right about J.D. Vance, man. He just flat out lied. I mean, the last 30-year history of political violence in this country, the vast majority of it is right-wing. It always has been. And they put out this lie that it's only on the left. It's not even, Roland, a both sides problem between the left and the right. There is political violence on the left, but the vast majority is on the right, and they know that, and they're lying because they're trying to inflame their base. And Roland, I hear from their base every day, and let me tell you something, they are inflamed. I mean, they are ready to march and grab their you-know-what. This is a scary time.
It is, and folks need to understand what is certainly at stake. Joe Walsh, I appreciate you joining us on the show.
history of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? Behind the history of the cross: murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7, rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This was Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians, in the name of Jesus. They said Jesus cursed black people. They call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, pissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, I get, well, not clean it up, but make it look more attractive, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what they do was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 40 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. I don't think it was a million years ago. It was 20 years ago. It lasted for 400 years. As they're doing today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza. We make it 1,000 times worse. What's going on in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It's genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population. The genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets. Knowing there was full of disease. Herpes, syphilis. Gonorrhea from seabird animals. So-called common cold was not common. Didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When it was written out women, they had a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught that there was God's will. God's will. Enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? What are you trying to arrest our people? Your rap sheet? What's your rap sheet? Are you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Yeah. You stole his land. You murdered his people. And you crushed the native people here When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and snatch the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, they all came instead of Columbus. What could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they serve. They have known by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. What's going on in Gaza is just a reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. They brought women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. They told them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff they would do. Make one slave defecate and slave and sit and slave in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so they couldn't spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. There's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? Legacy of the cross. What's your rap sheet? America? Gog? What's your rap sheet? Magog? Britain? What's your mention? What's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel. What's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They steal the ribbons off everyone. It's the legacy of Christianity. It's been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
gonna make it. Sure, you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure, you ain't talking about that, are you? We ain't going back to Africa. You're right. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday. When you should be honoring Jesus, you are bunny rackets. Inviting your children to pay eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of it. Get the Santa Claus of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of it. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Of a name, come out of a religion, come out of a culture, come out of a way of life, come out of an educational system. People, and they will put up all the shows of Lord, and they should. Jesus, none of the homes. They stood and said, it is a parent. And behold, I wanted to return. With their hands stretched out towards that ship, and having chained themselves bound together. And when they were put off on this memorable shows, they took their stern that ship that brought them to our strange land, and these strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country, and strange people who have proven to them every vow from their native land that they were going to be West Indians that they were living with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that all this ship that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. When this ship was made of Jesus, this is how that we have always been deceived by the witness. Trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to our a mental sleep, thinking that we all are believing this is church. My brother, this is very hard for us to people to accept today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that native land and people and beauty yesterday. Trying to save the very minute that brought our You know, turning your face from your ordinary life and turning it back towards our Christmas house and our and it who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to you. It's trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you in your past. Do you feel? Acting so. And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why did not you want to be separated and be returned to the Lord? I think that push. They go to your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. Now, you like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemned for being such fools as now. To live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. When I wanted to be separated and go to your arm, to the nation, for your son. The white man said you opened. Remember that. we gonna make it? Sure, you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Sure, you ain't talking about. No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to pay eggs for some Easter. Come out of it. Get the Santa Claus of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of St. Valentine's Day. What is that? Excuse me. Come out of a name. Come out of a religion. Come out of a culture. Come out of the way of life. Come out of the educational system. People. When they were put on all the shores of North America. And they should. Jesus none homes. No their spirit. They stood and said, it is a parent. In the old wisdom. I wanted to return with the hands stretched out towards that ship and tiding chains themselves bound together. And when they were put off on this memorable shows, they took them, staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land, and these strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country. Strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be West Indies that they were living with. They were going to be the people that were destroyed. They soon discovered that all mischief that they were being brought here. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us. But this was the name of Jesus. This is that we have always been deceived by the name Jesus. The name Jesus could our thought in a mental state, thinking that we all have to leave it. This is church. My brother, this is very hard for us to people to accept today. Imagine our parents standing in front to return to that native land and people, you here today, crying to see the very minute that brought for that will. You know, turn your way from your ordinary plan. Turn it back towards our prison house and who have destroyed us and seeks to destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to you. They're trying to make love with the people that destroy you in your past. Do you feel? Actions. And even today, there are beating and shooting down throughout the country. There's no justice here for you and me. Why did not you want to be separated and be returned to the Lord? I think that was. Take over your parents on the eastern shore of North Carolina. Pray and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. You like to see them rise up in the judgment, condemned for being such fools. And now, what to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as fools. When I wanted to be separated, they go to your arms, to the nation, for your son. So I said, you remember that.